What's up, everybody? I hope you're doing well. This video is picking up on the previous video where we excavated, backfilled, laid this granite step you see on the left. This video is going to be us screeding and laying the pavers, and it's a pretty simple patio. It's just a rectangle with a few different cutouts that we have to make, and it went pretty smooth. And one thing I do love about how this patio came out is the border. If you watch my channel, you know I use that dark inner border paver a lot. It's a really thin paver, but it's nice and dark, so it just gives a really good contrast. And that paver is made by Nicolock, and it's called Old Vienna, and it's got a color tone called Raven. The outer border is made by Techo Bloc, which is the manufacturer who makes the main pavers we're using, and it's called Villagio, and the color of that outer border is called Shale Grey. And the main pavers we're using are made by Techo Bloc, and they are called Blue 60, and the color tone we have is Shale Grey, which matches that outer border. So that dark inner border makes that main paver pattern pop out, and it's also going to match the dark poly sand that we use. We use black polymeric sand, and it just all comes together and looks so clean. But anyway, let's just get right into the video, guys. I hope you enjoy it, and I'd love to hear in the comment section below what you think. That's your present, dude.
Oh, thanks, man.
You got it. How'd that feel?
Same. I'm gonna use a soft.
Get cartilage kneecaps, dude.
Cartilage kneecaps.
So we looked at all the pallets, and we got two lighter ones and two darker ones. You can kind of tell right here. This is the lighter pallet, this is the darker. So we're mixing those in layer by layer. And these two pallets over here, at least from the top, you know, sometimes as you dig through a pallet, it could get darker or lighter, but you kind of want to just make the assumption from the top. But this one's kind of a lighter batch, and this one's a little bit darker. So we're gonna go through both of those, and then we'll pull through both of these evenly until we get a little closer. I think I bought 4 pallets, but it's not a full 4 pallets, so we're probably gonna have like a few layers left over. So as we get down a little bit closer, we'll start digging from like one pallet or the other. I'm definitely happy with how it's going out though. Now we can kind of go over there, and if we keep a nice straight line, we can lay that whole area in. But the main concern is going to be to try and lay all this in, what he's doing, lifting them up, setting them into place, this whole stretch, so that we can concrete the edge, put the decorative stone, and then this whole corner is basically all set. So quick rundown of what I'm looking out for. I'm laying a random pattern, meaning I'm just laying the pavers randomly as they come off the pallet. I'm not following any particular pattern. It's something that takes a lot of practice if you're going to try to do it a lot, but the more you do it, the better you get at it. But there's a few things we're looking after. One is what I already mentioned, we're pulling from a couple different pallets at once to mix the color tones in. And two, with a 3-piece pattern like this, big rectangle, small rectangle, square, we're looking to not have long joint lines, more than like 4 or 5 pavers. Sometimes 5, you just kind of have to do it, but like a 6 or 7 paver run is kind of a long joint line. It sticks out. The other thing you're looking out for is a 4-way joint line, and it's when pavers meet like this, you can see like that plus sign. In a randomly laid pattern, you shouldn't see that. Another thing you shouldn't really see is like rectangles stacked on each other. Like, you don't want to put the smalls like this or the bigs. You don't put a big right next to a big laying the same way. You don't want to see that. So that's really about it. Other than that, depending on the paver manufacturer you have, you're going to have different ratios of the 3 different sizes, and that's because those manufacturers have patterns that they are basing their pallets off of. But instead of trying to learn all those patterns or follow those patterns, if you can get good at just laying randomly, this is the best way. Right here is 2 full layers from those pallets. Each layer is about 10.5 square feet. So both of those together, we're at like 21 square feet, or if you want to just make it easy, 20. So you got like a 10 foot by 2 foot area, or a 5 foot by 4 foot area. However you break it down, you got 20 square feet of pavers off of 2 layers. So I'm gonna just show you guys just real time of how long it takes me to lay a couple layers of pavers. I always just smooth out the surface where I'm gonna be laying a little bit. The screed doesn't leave it perfect, but it leaves it really close. We'll be able to smooth it out a little, helps. So I gotta lay in the border first to make sure I'm good. And I'm not worried about stepping. Just if you go to step somewhere, leave your foot there as much as possible, or step in it again, and then you'll be able to just fix it with the trowel as you get there. Stretch him. So I'm just laying these in there to keep everything square, and Ben's following me and lifting it up and setting it anyway. So right off the bat here, we have 1, 2, 3. I can do like 1 more or 2 more pavers before this joint line has to get broken up. So I think I'm gonna try to break this joint line up right here, I think. So pull this up. Use another small one here. A square, a small, this joint line right here is 4 pavers but 2 small ones, so basically 3, but I still want to break that joint line and this one, so I'm going to take the big one. A little high. You want to make sure you can hit it down before you keep going on a high paver, I mean. That's good. See, now you can see here I got 1, 2, small one, so like 3.5 basically. But I want to go back to my longest straight line, start there and then keep going. I always joke about it, but I really don't ever do 4 ways with this. I just don't. I can't let myself do it. I've gone as far as telling you, bud, right? And anyone that works with us,
What's that?
you find a 4-way, like when it's done and said and done, $100 cash.
Yeah.
Not on the border though. That happens and you can't avoid it, unfortunately.
You can. Just don't take it.
Yeah, it would take a long time. Sometimes you would literally have to make a cut because the way it lands, which ain't worth the time.
No.
Small ones are always useful to transfer a joint line over. So doing that is going to extend this joint line out. That moved a little. So you don't want to ever do this and like really wrench on it, but you can use these magnesium mags to move the pavers a little, which I think we got to. So just kind of stand on the one that you're trying to leverage off of and push it out a little. It's just very small amount, but I'm trying to keep the border the exact same distance off the line everywhere. That's the stuff you gotta double check as you lay out the layers. Lay out the layers. Three more pavers and then that's 20 square feet. I'm gonna put a 4-way in someday, dude, to see if people are watching. Send them $100. Put on the thumbnail. $100 giveaway.
Sure
People are gonna be like, "What's the giveaway?"
Yeah.
The OGs are gonna see a 4-way in the patio and they're gonna be like, "That's right." First to comment without me telling you there's a 4-way. I don't know how long that was, but probably about like 10 minutes or so. I think I spent like 4 minutes talking. About 10 minutes, a couple layers. No pattern, just random. None of the issues I was just talking about. No long joint lines, no 4-ways. Colors are mixed in good. Those are the things that you're looking for. Good morning, everyone. We're back here on the job site. We got some polymeric sand, extra bag of concrete just in case we don't have enough, which I think we will, but it's always good to be safe. We're gonna finish the patio by putting the border around it and locking it all in with the concrete for the edge restraint. It rained last night, so everything's just a little wet. Morning, bud.
Morning.
How are you?
Doing well.
Sleep good last night?
Slept like a baby.
Yeah, me too. Hey, watch out stepping on the mud. Wow. Look at this thing. Look, bird already pooped on it, dude.
Yeah.
Bird already pooped on it. Dude, the color was blended so good, dude. I almost lost everything I was saying right there because it looks so nice. They're definitely wet though. Poly sand's gonna be a later in the day kind of thing, but we still got a lot of stuff to do. Sun's coming out, man. I can see it trying to break through.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a hot day today. Hotter tomorrow.
This has been our audience the whole time. Dog's beautiful, man, huh? What's up, pup? What's going on, pup? Doesn't mind the camera. Alright, bro, a little breakdown here before we get to work, right?
Sure, dude.
3 pallets at 117 square feet a pallet is 351 square feet. That's what we did at minimum because we have 7 tiers left. 4 on that one, 3 on this one. So put those together, that's 3 full pallets we used and 3 tier off of another pallet. Each tier is like 10 point something square feet, so just call it 10. That's another 30, so 381 square feet. We got here at what, 11? 11:30. It was 11:30. I think we started working. Nothing was screeded. The base was ready. Up to that big square, we still had to do base prep, compact everything, screed it, drainage, lay it, and you did what? What's that, like 20 something feet of border you already laid too? We left here at 6:50. We pulled out of the driveway. So like almost 7.5 hours between 2 guys, which would be 15 man hours. 15 man hours to do that, bro? Not bad. That's incredible. You can only get that like amount of stuff done in the fall, dude.
Just a 12-hour day would be double, almost, well, just under double.
Imagine laying 600 square feet, dude, in a day.
We'd be having concrete here. Border would be done and concrete might be done.
Yep.
If we had a 12-hour day.
2 guys, bro. Imagine, dude, we just had a bomb. Like, we got to do that. Try to break our record, dude. The biggest patio we got. Let's see, like, we'll start at like 7:30, dude, and go to 7:30 and see what we can get done, dude. How much square feet we can actually screed, lay in a day. But I'm extremely impressed with that. I mentioned it too, and I always talk about it, but these pavers in general, or this size paver, lays so much quicker than the one that you see on my channel a lot, the one with the wavy edges, which is made by Genest. It's called Grand Katahdin. That is a smaller paver. So the small pavers in that 3-piece design always sink really low. So basically, when you're laying a patio like this, you have to be going back after, lifting up the smalls, putting more material under, setting them into place, or else they'll sink lower than all the other ones in the future. But with this one, every once in a while you got to pick up the small, but typically the smalls do not have to be lifted up because they're big enough of a paver that they won't sink much. So that's something that helps a lot. Plus, when you're laying down a paver this size, the rectangle, that's probably like 3 or more of the squares in the pattern of the Grand Katahdin, size-wise. So you can actually just like lay more square footage. So depending on the paver, the square footage in a day is going to vary a lot. This particular type of paver, you can get a lot done in a day. All right, man. Now that my rant's over, excellent day yesterday, bro.
Oh, yeah. Excellent day. Excited for disc golf.
Heck yeah. cuts around the bulkhead are done. So I'm gonna do the border around the bulkhead. Ben's going on the outer edge over here. Need to dig out just a bit more over here for some concrete, and then we're also gonna have to fade this loom in a little bit. The grade kind of goes down over there. On the other side, we're actually gonna be bringing this topsoil up. Hey, you're doing a good job, man. Rock, paper, scissors for the knee pad. There's probably gonna be some cuts around the edges, but typically what I like to do is put the cuts in the center of where you're going. So as much as you can, make the edges or the corners perfect looking, and then go to the middle and make your cuts. So you're gonna see me lay out from here over, and from here over, and then from over there to meet over to the middle, and then from over there to meet to the middle. And whatever cuts I got will go there to try to take your eye away from like a cut on the corner. Sometimes you just have to, but that's the best you can, really. If you watch my channel, you know I typically like to not put border in front of like an entryway or like in front of a step. But as you saw in front of the granite step and in front of this bulkhead, the decision was to just border the entire patio and not have any openings to where like a door would be. So we bordered around all edges and in front of all entry points on this patio. A little different than what we typically do, but I think it still turned out pretty nice. And that's just kind of a preference decision, honestly. It's not a huge deal either way. Done. The dry pavers really stick out. And everything else as well. Some of it's drying. The chances of us poly sanding today are pretty low, I think, because I just don't know if it's going to dry out enough. So today we're just going to focus on finishing the border, concreting everything. And then we're gonna take a lot of stuff out of here today that we don't need and leave the job site clean for tomorrow, which is Halloween. I'm gonna try to get a big load of loom delivered in the morning, so when we get here we can poly sand and then kind of touch up and fix all the areas that are messed up with the skid steer. And like I said, we gotta lift this up more, so I'm gonna need a good amount of dirt just to grade everything. It's a little bit late in the year to try to grow grass, but I think with the weather pattern for the next couple weeks, we're gonna be able to at least get it started. It might not come into like really full growth, but next spring it'll pick up where it left off, and might have to overseed it a little bit, scratch the surface, throw some more seed down in the spring, but for now we'll try to get something established. He's like, don't you have something better to do, bro? The level just fall apart.
Level on camera, dude.
That's awesome. He's like, could you get away from me, bro? Trying to get an up short?
Yeah, an up short shot.
You get a comment from one of your regular viewers like, hey, bro, you get a timestamp on the video?
Yeah.
Benny up short, 3 minutes, 12 seconds.
YouTube AI blurs a little tiny spot like this, like a snap of a finger. Like, what the fuck was that?
Bro.
What was that?
Alright, let's get get back to it. I'm gonna help Ben finish up the border here. I'm gonna start over there where he left off. Actually, I'm gonna start at the corner, dude, because we gotta work towards you now. That's what we gotta do. So we gotta fill in those two voids, and I'll start over in this corner, go to like here, and then go this way. I've mentioned it in many videos, but when we do a border for any paver project, we always lift the pavers up higher than the main ones and settle them down into place, because the border of any paver project is going to be the first point of failure, and setting them higher and hammering them down makes them tighter. And as you'll see, we also put concrete around the edge and really locks everything right into place. Border is all set everywhere. A lot of the pavers have dried. I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to do the poly sand today, but I think we will. I'm going to be hitting a lot of these really wet areas with the blower for a little while, and that helps kind of dry it out quicker. But I think we might be able to do the poly sand. Ben's going to get ready to do some concrete along the edges. I don't think we have to take anything out right now, dude.
Nah, you don't think so?
We'll just make the channels, do the concrete, and get the stuff out of there in the morning. You know, concrete all the edges, that's how we do it. That's how we've always done it. Well, not always done it, but as long as I've been doing open grade base, that's how we've done it. So I'll show you real quick what Ben's doing. Just kind of making a trench that goes into the base stone. Concrete right up to about an inch below the paver at a nice slope, and then backfill it with soil. Guys, I'm gonna try to back in this driveway. It's right off of main route, and it's a tight driveway. I'm gonna hand you off to Ben, and we'll see if we can get in here.
Look at all the cars going. That's it. Yep. pavers. He might have shoveled it over. I think he did. I think he did. That's good on him. 3 for 3.
Got it.
Hey, you know what? Looking at the pile, he did dump it on the thing, but I think he got out and shoveled it over for like 20 minutes, dude.
Looks like good stuff too, man.
Yep, definitely.
Oh yeah. See all the little hairs, bro? That's what you want to see. Little hairs in there. Compost. Oh, what's that? Little cherry, dude. Look at that.
What? Let's see, dude. Oh yeah.
I don't know what that is, dude.
It's gonna be growing. Cherry, beautiful weeping cherry tree grows right over there.
Yep. Let's see what the patio looks like. That don't look dry, dude. I'm actually kind of nervous now. We couldn't get the pavers to quite dry yesterday with the blower. There was like probably a dozen of them that was still wet, so we just couldn't poly. But we got everything concreted. We got the job cleaned up a lot. It's Halloween too, so happy Halloween. Probably a year and a half from now when I get to editing this video. Can't tell, it doesn't look dry. It looks damp again. Really hard to tell. Yeah, so you can see the difference between the dry and wet parts. Dude, I really hope this doesn't screw us today, man.
That would be really crappy since it's going to be 80 degrees.
Bro, that's the really tough part about doing this work this time of year is it's hard to do the poly because it starts getting really cool at night, and if you're in an area like this one, you can see the sun behind me. It goes over that way, so the majority of this patio doesn't even see sun this time of year, but you can see the spots that are wet pretty clearly, I think, on camera. If you poly over that dampness, you can stain the pavers and really take away from the nice look. Needs to be completely dry before poly. Almost there yesterday, didn't quite get there. I'm hoping today's different. It's definitely warmer already and the sun's out, so we'll have to see how it goes. Right now, we're gonna do some loom, spread that stuff out, and just kind of do what we can until the paver's dry. But it's looking nice. I'm really happy with how it turned out. These pavers are taking forever, but right behind me here, I'm gonna be able to start polymeric sanding. Basically, this entire area is dry. There's only a little bit left that's drying, but I'll be able to start over here and then work my way this way. There's only a couple pavers that have very, very small damp spots over here. that thing works really good. Takes a little longer than a compactor with a pad, but sometimes the compactor with the pad can break these large rectangles if they hit it just right. To me, I think a lot of times it's overkill to have to use a compactor, simply because it's just a foot traffic application, patio or walkway. If you start getting into driveways, you really want to tamp these things down. But the main compacting is the base stone. You want to make sure that base stone is completely compacted, because at that point it's only going to settle as much as it does with the hammer when you're hitting it, and you've seen that we set those in as we lay. So this is good enough. You can be a little bit more careful and you won't have really any possibility of breaking a paver, honestly. And then especially on the edges when it's already concreted, a plate compactor can really damage the edge and how it's molded together. Most of the time we just use this. I've used compactors on bigger patios when you really need to, because it's just a lot of hand tamping. I've done that, but today we're just using that. That area is all set. Swept in once, tamped, swept in twice, blown down. That's just my favorite way to do it, because now you know that whole area. If anything bad were to happen, or water got on it or liquid got on it, it's not a complete loss, because you've already got it to that point where it's ready to be wet. That's about 2 bags in. I had a half a bag. We did a full bag and a half, and about half of that's gone. I'm gonna go back to that corner and work my way out this way. Guys, this came out excellent. Poly sand's good to be wet down, but we did all the seeding, lumen seed around the edges first, so that we can spray it all down at the same time. Ben's packing up. I don't know if that's gonna work out. He's thinking about it. Oh! Dude, I was sitting here like, I wonder if it's gonna work. Anyway, came out mint. Love that border. Love the paver. Color tones are all mixed well. What do you think about it, dude?
Happy to see it dry.
Hey, about to get wet. All right, I'm gonna water this down. Ben's gonna finish packing up. We gotta do a little bit more seeding and then we're out of here. There it is, guys, all wet down. Now that can set. Ben's finishing the last bit of raking. He already threw the seed down. And we're out of here. Bud, you want to say goodbye to these guys?
Later, guys.
Hope you guys enjoyed the video. So hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see a lot more videos like it. But you already know the deal. Till the next one, God bless. Peace.